Cincinnati, this happened Saturday, and I'm tired of people describing this as a fight. It's not a fight. It's a brutal beatdown. It is a serious criminal act between a group of black people and a white person and then another white person. A music festival, fun for the whole family. But let's get to a subset of our population acting like animals. And let's talk about the black beating that took place in Cincinnati, meaning a bunch of black people beat white people within an inch of their life. Don't care if they use the N-word. Just to be clear, this doesn't mean all black people, but you know what, black Americans, you really need to start policing your own. Also, the police you protest are the only thing protecting you, 13% of the population, from a huge percentage of white people who own firearms, many of whom are 80 years old and can split a playing card with their revolver at 70 yards. You protest the police, you don't know how lawlessness goes in this country if you play the numbers game. And people are getting tired of it, and they're getting tired of being gaslit. This does not, to be clear, mean all black people, but all the other people, black people in the black community. You need to start correcting this. And we're at the point where we're not holding our breath. Sure, fights take place between white people. Sure, they take place in high schools, but not with great regularity. Gang beatings of unarmed, defenseless victims. So much so that there's an entire market known as world star hip hop. Okay? All right? Let's be clear. White people get a little out of line and someone yells out Howard Stern's penis, Baba Booey. You guys yell out World Star and someone ends up with permanent brain damage. All right. So.
Baba Booey, what the?
That was the old Howard Stern thing. But the theme today is a good guy with a gun. Let's change one thing here. And I don't know what led to this, and I don't care. Unless the white man brought a gang of people to beat up on defenseless black victims, there is no excuse for this. Okay? But change one situation. If a good guy with a gun happened to be there, blam, blam, or a warning shot, guess what? I don't believe in warning shots, just to be clear. Blam! They disperse. And no one has to spend the night in the ICU. That's why I want you to carry a gun. Also, by the way, law-abiding black citizens, I want you to carry guns more than anyone so you can help start policing your neighborhood. Hey, you don't want to have cops? All right, fine. You be the cop. It's a faster response time, but start doing something about it. Cincinnati, this happened Saturday. And I'm tired of people describing this as a fight. It's not a fight. It's a brutal beatdown. It is a serious criminal act between a group of black people and a white person and then another white person. A music festival. Fun for the whole family.
When they say fight, they mean the guy fighting for his life on the ground.
Right.
To be clear.
Somebody lost a weave.
Head stomping, classy. Yeah, cheer it on.
That guy's already down. Yeah, break. That guy's not a threat.
How dare you grab my leg after I stomp your face?
That's a man causing permanent brain damage to that woman. Yep.
We knock out women in our neighborhood.
Yeah. You guys want to act like this is the first time you've seen this? You guys want to act like this isn't a recurring thing? I don't just have a problem with the 1 or 2 or 24 people doing it. It's almost like there are enough people there in that environment, in that specific community in Cincinnati, who don't even relate to me as a human being. What would be required for you as a human being to walk by? In other words, you didn't have an altercation with this guy. There are plenty of people there who didn't even have any interactions with this guy. To walk by and see an, as far as you know, innocent bystander or stranger on the ground being beaten, and for you to take part and stomp and break his ribs or crush his skull. What would be required for you to do that? If you're a human being, probably nothing. How do we end up all the time with great regularity at this intersect? How does an entire group of people go like, oh, wait, defense? Yeah, the choice to make here is to stomp his head. I can't relate to it.
And they'll give a reason for it. They'll go, oh, it's because of this. I guarantee you, at least half of the people that are beating on that guy have no idea what started. They have no idea what started. They're okay with it. They're actually happy to take part in it, just so long as, hey, I got the right back.
Right. Yeah, exactly. And then we're going to talk about what's the other side. Did the guy say the N-word? Okay, well, what about the people who had no idea? Who cares? Now, I get it. Things escalate. That does happen. I'm not saying that's exclusive to the black community, but in a different way. Fair enough. It happens even around these parts.
Well, there's always tension in any office spaces. The fact of the matter is, unfortunately, sometimes it results in adults arguing.
Don't lie to me, Tim. I know you've been eyeballing my apples. You've been stealing my apples for weeks. I bring them every week. I get the same ones. They're peeled, they're pre-sliced, and I love those apples. And you've been stealing them.
Yeah, they're Granny Smith. I don't like Granny Smith apples. All right?
Oh, yeah?
There's all the other apples in the world. That's what I eat.
You're a Granny Smith. That's what I think.
Apples. There's Honeycrisp on
Hey, well, how do you like these apples, huh? You want to like mine? Oh, yeah, come on, huh? I think I can enjoy something.
Well,
Hashtag white people too.
I get bruised rib.
Oh, whoops.
Yeah, a lot of cleanup.
That's maybe so absurd. That make a point? You starting to get the picture? Here's the vice mayor of Cincinnati, Jan Michelle Kearney, saying that what you just saw, the beating, it was just adults fighting, just two grown-ups sorting it out.
You know, we talk to our teens about, not fighting and how to get along, how to de-escalate. And then you have adults out here just showing bad behavior.
Though it wasn't connected to the
They
event,
didn't de-escalate.
this shocking situation happened as the city was
passed out on
hosting
the
its
ground.
jazz festival.
More than 90,000 people come here. This is one of the largest music festivals in the entire country. But the conversation turns to this one incident, adults fighting at 3 a.m. This is not who we are.
Yeah.
It is
criminals will be criminals.
Yeah, looks a lot like that's who you are.
It is who you are.
Yeah. And you know how I know it's who you are? Because you're excusing it. You're excusing it. Just two adults fighting. This isn't, you can't even compare it to the Sharks and the Jets, and half of them were Puerto Rican. At least they all had knives. At least they sort of agreed we're going to use zip guns. By the way, a horrible weapon in a gang fight. A zip gun, you just shoot someone with a rubber band, they get more pissed off. On PCP, they get stronger. The point is, this is not normal, and it shouldn't be normal in a civilized society. And it's not about two people. It's about the group of people around them who are so used to and have been so desensitized to this. They go, yeah, I'll end someone's life with my boot. Why not? Seems like a fun night.
It's a lesser charge if I do it in a group.
Yeah, exactly.
I might get away with it. They won't find me.
Right.
Like those kids in Vegas.
The only happy ending to me with that story is a good guy with a gun breaks it up and hopefully takes out the primary offender. But that's me, Mr. Traditional. Here's the chief who also gave this comment, right? Just so you know you're safe in Cincinnati. Seems to be more upset with social media than, the serious violent felons.
Social media and journalism and the role it plays in this incident. And yes, guys, that's you.
Oh, no.
That is you.
Who'd we kick?
Social media.
Hey, don't get mad at me because your hair looks like that.
Does not depict the entire incident.
Oh, no?
That is one version of what occurred.
In the other version, the people didn't get beat.
Yeah.
At times,
It's a multiverse.
social media and mainstream media and their commentaries are a misrepresentation of the circumstances surrounding any given event. What that does, that causes us some difficulties in thoroughly investigating the activity.
What would
I don't
cause
care.
you difficulties?
And enforcing the law. Because what happens, that social media post and your coverage of it
Forces you to do your job.
distorts the content of what actually happened. And it makes our job more difficult.
I will continue to distort.
Yes.
I will continue to tell everyone that you don't seem to be doing your job because the only acceptable statement from you is wholesale condemnation of the gang, the throngs, the packs of jackals. I don't care. By the way, the other side, I don't care if Baldy used the N-word.
I know.
Probably shouldn't.
It'd be a whole different story if it was angry black guy beats up white guy.
Yeah.
That's a different story.
Right.
That's not even a story.
No,
honestly, that is adults fighting.
Yeah,
Right.
that's adults
I want
fighting.
the chief to tell me something. Do me a favor. Okay, fine. I'll grant your point here. Tell me what events that led up to the video starting would justify what we saw.
Yeah.
A crowd of people, some of which had nothing to do with what was going on by all accounts, and just were like, yeah, stomp a white guy's head. That sounds like a good idea. And the World Star guy going, oh, and recording the whole thing.
Well, what you didn't see is he set up
I need to understand in Cincinnati what she would go, see, that's why they did it.
Yeah.
Help me understand what happened before, Chief.
Yes. He set off a bomb at a school.
Right.
Yeah, I mean,
that's what he blew up. He blew up a.
Do?
And why should we try and appease these? These are the same people who said there is no hands up, don't shoot. There is no justification. There is no other side whatsoever to Michael Brown being shot. Right. I don't know, hitting a cop in the head with his own gun. I would think that qualifies, which is why, look, I don't just unilaterally back the blue. There are some cops out there, or chiefs like that broad, who I can't stand, and that's why I want to see more of you, a citizen police force. I want to see more. It's time for good guys with guns.
Armed citizen stopping a gunman.
I told him to get away from my door, that I would shoot him.
Grabbed a firearm and fired shots at the masked robbers.
Pulled a gun and took out the threat.
For everyone out there who's ever said, so what, you think you're just carrying a gun? You think you're going to use it and you're going to stop an attack? Yeah, here's a good guy with a gun being effective against an entire gang. And it's funny how cowardly they are.
It happened last Thursday right before closing. The owner of the Alameda jewelry store in Anaheim sees a large group of people rushing towards the entrance to his store trying to break in. Check out how many cars pulled up into the parking lot. So the owner, armed with a handgun, shot at the bulletproof glass from inside the store, and watch how the would-be thieves reacted.
Why bring that many if one shot that doesn't even go through the glass is going to scare you off?
I know.
I don't think they were there for defense measures. I think they were there for, hey, let's all get together and go make some money.
As many hands as possible because we
all
can
my
steal.
friends,
Yeah,
hey,
because,
did you hear? We're going to hit this jewelry store.
Yeah, because we can rob our fellow man and take away his entire livelihood because somewhere, somebody at some point in time had slaves. Let's go on to South Carolina, July 7th.
By the way, that guy had Arabic on his sign. It's not exactly the white guy that was enslaving the population, okay?
I couldn't see what it was.
Arabic, or is it a jewelry store?
Oh, on the right, it looked like there was Arabic on the sign.
Yeah.
Or it was definitely looked like some other kind of foreign, like maybe it was something else, but I'm like, this is not basic white guy.
Hebrew.
Okay.
Oh, that's...
Either way, probably not.
Touche.
Either way, probably not a group that, and you know what I'm going to say, entitled black Americans want to screw with.
Yeah.
Whether they're an Israeli immigrant, an Arabic immigrant, a Cuban American immigrant, a Russian American, they don't play those games. They don't come here and go, oh yes, you are justified because your great-great-great-great-grandfather was on plantation, so of course you can rape my daughter. Of course they go, this is mine, you come, I shoot.
Yep.
They have no sympathy for... I got to tell you, black people in all other countries, you know where it's most prevalent is actual African American migrants, meaning from those African nations. They come here and they are often absolutely stunned and ashamed of how black American communities are acting.
Mm-hmm.
Let's just be, no, I have black neighbors who are great, to be clear. Plenty of black friends. So you're using it so you're not racist? Yep. I can still look at a general trend line and irrefutable statistics and say something has to change, something has to be done. Otherwise, you're going to end up with a race war. You can't just keep excusing this. Right. Let's go to another example. South Carolina, July 7th. Group of black kids beat up a white kid, supposedly. Again, what's the justification? Because he said the N-word in a group chat. Now, if he said it, probably shouldn't say it.
It's not a license to kill.
It's not a license to kill.
They act like it is.
And by the way, if you didn't say it, guarantee you that will be made up. Guarantee you. It's always the excuse.
Every time. You can call it.
Yeah.
You can just call it.
It's never, hey, why'd you gang beat this guy? Well, he hurt my ego, which is usually the answer, right? Respect. It's about respect. So they go, oh, wait a second. He said the N-word. He did something racist. I don't care. Here's the video, again, from July 7th. You just saw Cincinnati. Now we have South Carolina. Gang of kids beating up one kid. See if you notice the trend. Yeah, that white guy looks like an aggressor.
Oh, you tag him up. Tag him up. Make him feel the yeah, make him feel the Nope.
Yeah, go. Guaranteed you're going to get a cowardly shot.
Don't even get up. Yes. Don't even get up. Now watch it next time. You know what not to say.
By the way, the victim can't play football this season due to the injuries. So but hey, we need to have both sides. Did he say a naughty word? He deserves to potentially lose his scholarship. Just get the hell out of it. I did a segment on this. You want to know how you get Dirty Harry, how you get Death Wish, how you get Bernie Getz, how you get Vigilantes? This is how you get it.
Yep.
This is how you get it. And you know what? I'm not advocating for that. I definitely want to see you, good American, with a gun. Arm yourself and help your fellow citizens because the cops aren't doing enough. They're not doing enough. I'm not saying defund the police. What I'm saying is not every single member of the police is your friend, as you just saw from that chief. And if you have people enabling this kind of behavior where you say the wrong thing, the really tough thing, too, with the excuse being he said the wrong thing, is that it can't be proven.
No, it can't.
It can't be proven. You have an
He denied it, by the way. He denied he ever said the N-word or put it in a group chat or anything else. And I don't
If it was
care.
in a group chat, you'd see a screenshot.
Yes, you'd see a screenshot.
As soon as something happens that was screenshotable, it is screenshotted.
Of course.
Yes.
Every single time. I've seen it a thousand
I do that
times.
every time Gerald sends the N-word, but he does it like 3 a.m. for no
I do it
reason.
when you send me shower pics, but that's for a personal reason.
You said, send me the N-word at random times throughout the night. And I said, well, I'm obliged.
It's what we call N-word blood brothers, so we're all in for life.
We are. I don't care what they say, by the way. I mean, I thought that you couldn't just beat the crap out of somebody because they said something you didn't like. I don't care what the word is. I do not care what the word is or any series of words.
Yeah.
There's nothing that justifies this kind of behavior. And listen, I don't want this to happen, but I think this is what has to happen. Some people have to pay the price for what they do in the moment by somebody who doesn't want to end up in the hospital and maybe end up with a traumatic brain injury or have their wife get knocked out for no reason, right? They end up pulling out a gun to defend themselves. I don't want that to happen. But unfortunately, if you feel like you can just get away with this in a group
I don't want the person to be beaten. I want the person to pull out a heater.
I want them to pull out a gun and take care of themselves.
Yep, that's what I want.
And until
as
that
often
starts
as
happening.
possible.
By the way, did you see in that video there was a white pair of legs that was pushed up against the door, trying to stay out of the way.
Yeah.
What I want is for that white kid to jump into the fray as well. What I want for them to do, they're supposed to be in an FCA camp, by the way, open up the door, and I want a herd of people coming in, stopping that fight by any means necessary.
They're scared.
Every single time.
They're scared because they know what'll happen. They'll say you're racist for saying it, but they know what'll happen, and that's why they don't step in themselves, because they know they're going to get beaten to a pulp, and their life will be in danger.
We used to step in. We had no problem with it in high school.
Yeah. And again, these are kids. They don't have guns.
Right.
Yeah.
They're kids at a Christian camp or whatever it was.
Yeah.
They don't have guns.
Nope. No, it's a gun-free zone, and it's just a numbers game. Hey, we showed up with more of our race than this other guy. That's the way they look at it. And by the way, the best-case scenario is seeing a bunch of other black legs come in and stop it. But don't hold your breath. That's not going to happen.
It's like that movie. Remember the Titans, but that was Revenge of the Titans.
Right. Oh. Yes. It was the poorly received sequel.
Oh, yeah.
You said a mean thing to me, so now I'm gonna get all my friends to beat you up and end your football career.
Oh, no.
Because I'm tough.
Sticks and stones may break my bones, but the wrong names will result in you being catatonic. That's, I believe, how it goes.
Wrong names, yeah.
Yeah. So let's go on, because this is also, again, fostered by the media. And this happened, Dirty Harry, Death Wish. There was this vigilante resurgence that happened in the 70s and 80s because of the crime wave of the 60s and 70s, and people get tired of it, and the cycle repeats itself. But I think we may be headed one direction, and I don't know if the pendulum's going to swing back. Because it's been too long now, it's been going on far too often, that even certain people, they're running out of white guilt. Hey, if you're still watching this, you may be one of the 6 million or so subscribers on YouTube who is, for one reason or another, I don't understand it, still here. So back in the day, I would say click one of these videos and subscribe, but really just head on over to my channel on Rumble. Follow me there. I'm live 5 days a week, 11 a.m. Eastern, and I actually say the things that I mean to say. On YouTube, it's everyone here is kind of neutered, really, and there's just a general lack of testicular energy, but I mean that in the heterosexual way. Mostly.